Hassan, this is the Everything is Finally Gets Ruined podcast. Are you ready?
Yeah? Why wouldn't I be ready?
Are you ready to get uploaded?
What?
Are you ready to get into the internet, man? Yeah.
No. No.
No, okay.
That's where pregnant Sonic lives, and
Well, why wouldn't you want to be hanging out with pregnant Sonic? Everybody loves pregnant Sonic.
it's also where WikiFeet is,
And you could go and hang out with pregnant Sonic on WikiFeed. That sounds like a blast, man. A Sonic blast. A pregnant Sonic blast.
I think I'm gonna go become Amish, actually.
That's also a choice. Me, however, I'm gonna lawnmower man this shit, jump into the internet, and surf the cyberspace, baby, all the way into the Pentagon. Maybe do a little hacky hack, and then steal some codes for something or other. And then now they're chasing me down, and now I gotta I'm on the run, and they have cyberbots after me, and then I gotta fight them in cyberspace.
I mean, you don't.
And there's
you
a
don't have
psychic.
to go inside the internet to get the Pentagon secrets. You can just play World of Tanks, and
Oh, really?
you'll get them.
Ooh, really? Okay. What if, though... Wait, does World of Tanks also have a psychic dolphin that controls the internet?
I'm gonna lean towards no, but I cannot say in any certainty.
Well, then I don't want to play it. So there. I think my way of doing it is better.
It's just... You're gonna...
Yeah.
There's a lot of R34 stuff on the internet.
Yeah, again, that's fine. Me and pregnant Sonic are going to hang out on R34 and WikiFeed at the same time, just bouncing a ball back and forth. And then he's going to go into labor, and I'm just going to walk away. Because I'm not that kind of guy.
Oh.
I'm unreliable.
Wow, okay. At least you admit it, I guess.
Yeah, you gotta admit your faults. I'm only human, after all.
Well, you won't be human, though.
What do you mean?
You'll be an internet person.
Yeah, that's the most human thing possible. To be on the internet.
I don't think it is.
I am
okay.
Yeah, I am perpetually online. That's the most human thing these days.
It's unfortunately true.
That's why I said it. Anyway, this is Everything's Finally Ruined, a show about stuff that we like, I guess. And I'm not going to upload my stuff to the internet, unfortunately, because honestly, that's a lot of work. I don't have the VR headset or anything either that I would need to jump online like Lawnmower Man or Johnny Mnemonic. And I don't have a chip in my back of my brain that has 512 gigabytes, or sorry, 512 megabytes of storage on it. So, I don't have those things. So I can't really be an internet person, unfortunately. Hassan, what are we talking about, though? Because this is your topic.
Well, Tristan, we are here to talk about Season 2 of Pantheon. Which, listener, if you are anything like I and Tristan, you're very surprised that there was a Season 2.
Yeah.
Because literally, the way I found out is
Season 1 was
just
canceled.
One day on my couch, on my lunch break, just scrolling through Twitter, and an account I follow that talks about animation, just Season 2 of Pantheon is now available in Australia and New Zealand. It's like,
go!
No, that can't be the Pantheon I'm thinking of, because they killed off Season 2.
Yeah.
It's made by AMC, which I think stands for American movie channel or something.
I think like that's the case. They did The Walking Dead too, so whatever.
Yeah. They basically were having some issues and like season 2 Pantheon pretty much dead.
Yeah, they killed it. They killed it dead.
Seemed to be no marketing, and then we got all of it. Got all of season 2.
I can only assume that so I knew that Pantheon season 2 was already mostly done when they killed it. That was the scuttlebutt around it. So it sounds like that Craig Silverstein, basically the guy who runs the show, probably convinced them hey, we're almost done. Can we just distribute this somewhere? And they said, New Zealand and Australia.
Season 2 is through Amazon Prime, even though apparently AMC has its own streaming service, channels and that.
Yeah, AMC does their stuff through Amazon Prime.
Hey, turns out everyone having their own streaming system was a bad idea.
So about the Amazon Prime thing, I'm going to point out. So when you pointed out that it was back when season 2 came out, I checked it and it's it's streaming now on Amazon Prime because I know that that's where in Canada you can get AMC stuff. So I saw it there when you first told me back nearly a month ago. And
October 15th is when it came out.
There you go. And then I didn't jump on it right away because I had some stuff I was needing to do, watching all the Simpsons, all that stuff. So I eventually got to Pantheon season 2, and I was like, okay, great. It's a Saturday morning. I've got nothing else to do, just hanging out with my pet parrot and eating toast. All right, great. Let's watch Pantheon. It's on Amazon Prime. I have Prime Plus. I have all that stuff. Turn it on. Where the fuck is this show? Because I saw it back in early November, late October that it was there. And then I looked for it. I tried everything. They took it down within weeks. Fucking weeks, Hassan.
Streaming sucks, man.
Streaming is stupid and I hate it. Anyway, I pirated this show like a real person does.
Hell yeah.
Because that's the only way to get it. I'm sorry, Pantheon. I want to watch it and give them money in any way possible. Because, hot damn, this show.
Yeah. So I think it was a Tuesday or a Wednesday that I saw that.
Sure.
Because I was a similar boat where, so I saw Tuesday or Wednesday and I was like, well, I don't want to, because I was flying out.
Yeah.
On Friday, wasn't returning until Wednesday. So it was like, I'm not going to be able to finish it. I don't want to start 1 or 2 episodes and then not be able to watch it for a week. I'll just do it all when I get back. So I was a similar boat of saw it, desperately wanted to watch it, but had to wait. And then I sat down, and so for anybody who doesn't know, Pantheon, a cartoon series, I will say an adult cartoon series. Do not let your kids watch this.
No, it is very adult, blood, gore, etc.
Yes.
Yeah. Very heavy topics, extremely heavy topics.
Yes, a lot around what it means to be human and so much more than that.
If you want to give your kids nightmares, let them watch it, I think.
Oh, especially season 1. Especially season 1 in Chanda. That scene.
Chanda's whole thing is insane. Yeah, man.
But it's based on some short novella, we'll call them, by...
short stories, yeah. Yep, Ken Lee.
I sat down to watch it. It's like I clicked the play button, and then I'm just like, oh no, I'm gonna watch it season 2, but what if it disappoints? Tristan, it does not disappoint. Nope. This season 2 goes. This
kicks so much ass.
This is one of the few shows where I think it rivals Tengen Toppa Gurren Lagann for just being stop. Yes. We can't take this any further. My brain cannot handle this.
I'm glad you fucking said that. So the first thing I thought we are going to spoil the shit out of Pantheon season 2. The absolute fuck out of it. If you have any interest in watching this, by the way, the title card I have is the last shot of Pantheon with the logo on top of it. This is the last shot. It says nothing if you don't know the show, But this is the last shot. Go watch it. You'll find out what this means. It's insane.
We'll get to it, man.
But anyway, we're going to spoil this.
There can't be 20 minutes left in this episode. Oh, God. Where's it going?
We're going to spoil the show of this show. Yeah. First off, that's the main thing. So when you said Tengen Toppa Gurren Lagann, I was like, so the first thing I equated the last few episodes of this show to is Die Buster and Gunbuster, the two things that Gurren Lagann are basically based off of, because both of those things, well, especially Die Buster, Gunbuster, that anime from the 80s ends with a 20,000 year time skip, because it takes them, it's because of time dilation.
Fucking Boruto.
Yeah. So fuck you, Boruto, another like fucking 5-year time skip in One Piece or whatever. Screw that. We have whatever it is. So we have 20,000. So literally, like, yeah, like there's a thing where, you know, the two main characters in the Gunbuster, they fly out, they save the day, they kill the bad guys, they're injured, but the system is like just giving them like the, you know, the basic treatment to keep them alive, and they fly back in their own thing, and they know the entire time dilation's a bitch. We are not going to see our friends and family ever again. And it's like counting up the years as they go and fight this thing, and they get back to the planet, and it's like they show the planet Earth, and it's all weird looking, and it's like 20,000 years later, and they're like, oh no, but like miraculously people remember them. It's like, oh, the heroes are back.
1,000 chump change.
That's chump change.
Yeah.
So
but
fuck.
Getting into actual season 2. So yeah. Off the end of season 1, yes, where basically Maddie and her mother, as Ellen, well as God, I don't remember that guy's name. I'm just gonna call him Beanie Dude because I don't. Cody Lowell.
Yeah.
They reveal to the world, hey, the government logarithms have been downloading people and turning them
illegally
into artificial humans. Off of the back of this, society
uploaded intelligence, baby,
shut down the internet while they look into things. You can only have local area communications. So Maddie and her teen friends are all trying to boost this and create local sites. Meanwhile, Caspian is now in charge of logarithms, and he is working on God, what did they call it again? Basically resolving this critical error with the
the variance, I think it's called.
Yeah, I think that's right. But yeah, critical issue with the UI where, similar to a real human,
they're like being born with cancer, basically.
Yeah, I mean, it's mostly a case of it's kind of similar to a real human where they have a sort of finite lifespan, and the more processing they do, the shorter they make their lifespan. So, you know, you could, hey, if you just don't do anything other than just kind of stand there and talk to people, your lifespan could be very long. If you do a bunch of crazy heavy computing calculation, you know, you make yourself read a ton of the internet, it would be very short. And so they are working on this. Goddamn. Oh, just one of, if not the worst people. I want to make sure I get his first name right. Julius Pope.
Julius Pope, baby. He decides, man, what a dick. Oh,
you know what we gotta do?
Mm-hmm.
We gotta make Caspian, who is the genetic sort of clone of Peter Holstrom, the original logarithm founder. We gotta continue to make him live Peter Holstrom's life. We gotta bring Maddie to meet Caspian.
Yeah.
So it sends off Caspian's mother,
Renee.
Renee.
Yeah. Fucking Renee, man. Oh, God, Renee.
God. What happened to her? We'll get there. Just
pathos,
so satisfying. Yeah,
pathos.
Yes, the pathos, incredible. So she brings Maddie to Iceland, Norway. I forget.
Norway, it's Norway. Like the very tip of Norway, basically.
Yeah,
you can see Russia from there. You can see Russia from my home.
Brings them there. Meanwhile, we get a very small glimpse into Chanda and Ping.
Yeah.
There is another UI there, but they don't matter. Season 1 and 2, they just didn't matter. Those are the only two that matter. They're kind of just stuck offline away from the rest of the world.
That's genre. Yeah.
But what happens is Caspian finally... So while he's trying to work on the UI, it turns out that, hey, when we thought that David, Maddie's dad, had died, because he's just zeros and one on the internet, you can just make copies of him.
Yeah.
We have additional copies of his dad, and so we're trying to test all this stuff. But eventually... Caspian figures it out. He's like, "Oh, I just need to take the code from one person and slap it in with the other, and that fixes them." So he takes some of the code they still have left over from Lori.
Yeah, Lori Lowell. That's right.
Yes, Lori Lowell. Slap it in with David, and they're like, "Haha, we figured it out." And this is where this season starts to just go off the rails because they fix David. He turns towards his daughter Maddie, who is next to Caspian. He's just like, "Oh, hi, honey." She's like, hey, Dad." Confused because she had already met him. He's like, "No, I wasn't talking to you."
Hey, kiddo.
Oh no, what's going on?
Yeah.
It's like, "I was talking to Mist." Like, who the fuck is Mist? Immediately, Logarithm just starts to murder this guy in front of his daughter.
Yep, kills him.
Again. Third time she has to see her father die.
She sees him die 3 times.
Jesus Christ, show.
Oh, this poor kid.
Okay,
this
all
poor
right.
kid. It's so heart-wrenching.
They restrain Maddie and Caspian, and then, it turns out, Caspian, we were just using you. We got Peter Holstrom's brain cryogenically frozen in the basement. We knew that there was this issue, so we didn't want to upload him until it was fixed. So now we upload him, give him the cure.
Yeah.
Peter Holstrom's back, baby. Our jerk face silicon founder guy is here. Like, oh God.
Also, it's wrong in the name. It's not the variants. It's integrity.
Integrity, yes, that's it. The integrity issue.
And also, it's Stephen Holstrom, and my God, William Hurt plays him so well in this show. Holy shit,
he is such a good.
He's so good. Such a great villain.
Like very heavily meant to be Stephen Jobs.
Yeah. Oh, he very obviously yes.
Even Steve.
Steve Jobs.
But his own thing. Yeah. It's very clearly, hey, he's got the biggest inspiration. But we did a very different thing with him as well. Yeah. We talked about it before with all the voice in that. I mean, it's a star-studded cast. They continue.
Paul Dano, Katie Chang does a crazy good job as Maddie. Aaron Eckhart, Rosemary DeWitt. Yeah. Krista
Raza Jaffrey.
Chanda,
I still think my standout in this series.
Dale Day Kim.
So good.
Yeah. Raza Jaffrey really good though. Yeah. So yeah, like the whole cracking logarithms, cracking integrity thing for logarithms, and then murdering David Kim in front of his daughter for like the fucking third time in a row. It's that's just, and like this one's crazy. Final too. That's the worst part. Is like this one counts the most because we erased all the backups, everything. We're done here. We got what we needed. Fuck you.
Well,
we'll get there. It's called building up.
So, what ends up happening is the government catches wind of, hey, Logarithms has this secret facility and the internet is still up.
The Pentagon knows now. NSA baby is in charge.
But Maddie and Caspian, they manage to break out with the help of Mist. They get in a plane, they fly away. We find out that Mist is now Maddie's sister in a way.
Yeah,
because she is partly made out of the code of her father.
Technically, her half sister. Yeah. She's made from the code of her father.
So I'm having to now
and Lori
reconcile
Lowell.
with the concepts of what is family if you just scan a part of somebody's brain and then.
I mean, that's the thing. If you make a new creature that is alive and it's just data, but it's still alive, and you make that from one that was previously alive as well, and a different one, that is essentially like making them a kid through cloning, mind you. But that's still the same thing, roughly. So it does mean that this creature, Mist, is 100% Maddie's sister.
It's
no ifs, ands, or buts, unless of course there's a whole. I mean, they get into it. Obviously, they get into the idea of like, is this piece of data, actually Maddie's sister, or can you even count that?
And for Maddie, hey, this is a
she flip flops so hard on this. She's 16. Yeah.
Hey, been through some stuff. Seen her father die 3 times within the last year or so.
Yep, brought him back, fought the government.
Now has an involuntary sister who is like kind of very clingy to her in a way.
Quite so, yes.
And also very naive of the world.
Yeah.
But also extremely powerful and
very
maybe the key to saving all of humanity.
Yeah, which I like the fact that so David and his ilk are uploaded intelligences. Mist is specifically a created intelligence. She's a CI, not a UI. I like the distinction because CIs are much more powerful because you're mashing two things together and getting a brand new thing. It's essentially like the fusion dance in Dragon Ball Z.
Oh my God, Tristan.
I'm not wrong.
Yeah, I guess you're not.
That happens again later on in the show. With the Israeli guy and the Iranian guy. God,
yeah.
They do they touch fingers and then they
I know. But so what ends up happening is that Caspian and Maddie realize that, okay, Holstrom now he's been cured. He's been fixed. He does not have the variants.
No. Yep.
We gotta stop him somehow. We need to find our quote unquote God again. Our benevolent UI we can bestow the cure upon, who can kind of do anything. And so they
it's
decide,
humans choosing their own God. Yeah.
A show called Pantheon,
Yeah. That done.
And like the names of the episode. I mean, the first episode is called "The Gods Have Not Died in Vain," which is just that's some real kill 6 billion demons.
Oh yeah, well,
naming stuff.
I mean, the name. This is all across the book, the short stories as well. The gods will not be chained. The gods will not be slain. The gods not have died in vain. The gods have not died in vain. And then it's like the hidden girl, etc., etc. All these other things.
Yeah. Really good stuff. But they decide, okay, we're going to try this Joey Coupe woman.
Joey Coupe!
She was
in
the previous
She's so good.
season. Not a whole lot about her, just that she was she was supposed to be this astronaut. Yeah.
She was going to go to Mars.
Had a medical issue that stopped her from it.
I think she had actual cancer. Something like that.
Yeah. I forget what it was, but that sounds right. So instead they upload her brain. They go to her family. Boy, her family does not respond well to Maddie and Caspian showing up, which is fair.
Something we may have missed is that they also took all of the internet offline, because in season 1
mentioned that, yeah.
Oh yeah. So in season 1, China detonated a nuke off of the Pacific coast of the U.S. And fried the internet, and then everybody else, the UN went no internet ever for the time being.
Also, he didn't detonate it off the coast. He was going to use it to, what was it? It was like an Indian nuke that he was aiming for the U.S. and then David intercepted it and stopped it.
Yeah, that's what it was. And David detonated it off the coast. That's right.
Yeah. But they give the cure to Joey, but then they're not sure if she should be their god or not. So they need to try and find somebody else. Meanwhile, one of the things that we find out is that, hey, one of the people who was at Logarithms and was doing some stuff. He's one of the NSA agents who was in charge of uploading Joey online. And then when she's like talking to them, she's like, wait, you knew what Logarithms up to? And he's like,
I sort of knew. Don't worry about it.
Like, oh, God, this show is getting like
I totally don't work there.
Government sucking accurate.
Of course he was doing double duty at Logarithms to make money and then also doing his NSA job. But also he was there as part of the NSA to make sure things went the way they wanted them to, because that's what the NSA does. So, of course, when he has to scrub the mission, because Logarithms gets shut down by the government, by the U.S. government, because it's a U.S. company, and they send their troops into Norway to fuck them up. Of course, this guy flees, goes back to Washington, D.C., and he's like, I deny everything.
Not everything. Deny, more so just, working to cover it up.
Exactly, yes.
To hey, we're going to hide this evidence, or we're just not going to look into it, or, delaying stuff.
This guy went full... This guy doesn't even have the integrity of G. Gordon Liddy, the notable fucking, like he's the guy that did Watergate, and he admitted it. He's like, no, I did that shit.
Yeah.
What are you going to do?
So while all this is going on, Renee had escaped with... I've forgotten his goddamn...
Peter Waxman.
No, Peter Holstrom.
Oh, Renee. Sorry, I thought you meant Ellen.
Yes.
Yeah.
No. Yeah. She had escaped with Peter Holstrom's UI. Stephen. They go to this German military base. They get him uploaded.
Oh, I love this scene too.
Yeah,
it's very good.
What does he do? He goes and he meets
right to the satellites
and Chanda, and he's basically like, "What's up? It's
I got
me,
the cure.
God.
Yeah,
I found a cure. I'm here to help you, and I'm here to help all UIs. We're gonna make a UI heaven." And it's like, oh, I don't. Like, man, Holstrom's sucked.
Yeah.
But seeing the guy literally be like, I'm going to be the architect of heaven. You're just like, oh, God.
Oh, no.
Oh, you are the worst kind of Silicon Valley person.
Oh, he really is,
God,
yes.
It's going to suck.
Yeah.
We didn't really talk about it too much, but, Chanda gets I don't want to say a redemption this season, because...
he gets a redemption, a bit of a... He gets an actual redemption.
I think it's less a redemption and more we get a new perspective to him.
Yeah,
that
he gets
kind of repaints some of his actions in season 1. He gets a
little bit of Zuko, but he actually is. Yeah, he's more so kind of like, we need to take Stephen Holstrom down. Eventually, he's like that anyway, because this guy's fucking dangerous, and I don't like that. Because Chanda's dangerous, but he kind of realizes maybe maybe what I did was too much.
Chanda's thing was, I took violent actions. I acted in a very confrontational way.
Yeah.
I was doing it at the time because I needed to protect us, the UIs.
Yeah.
I needed the world to face what we are head on, to basically smash the world's face into us so that it knew we were here. And if I had to use violence to do that, I would do so. But that was to protect us. That was to force the world's hand. This Stephen Holstrom guy is a psychopath who instead wants to force the world down the path of becoming us. And that is not okay with me. That is a layer of extreme beyond me.
So Stephen Holstrom's plan is really good. How to get people to do the upload.
I mean, by good, evil.
It's extremely evil, yeah. But I'm like, that is ridiculously clever, huh? And that would probably work for a good portion of the people. And then
basically
FOMO,
using flu vaccines to poison people so that they'll die and have no choice but to upload if they want to live.
But then, the beauty of it. Here's the thing they don't mention though, is because at a certain point when a lot of people have uploaded and it's totally cool, don't worry about it. FOMO. Fear of missing out. At certain, and that's actually happens like later on in the season too, where people are kind of like, I want to upload because like it just seems like the better way to live, and I think I'm missing out on some cool stuff that's happening if I'm uploaded, and it's just like, yeah, all right, let's go.
Now, while all of this is happening, and want to mention it here because it'll come up in a bit.
Yeah.
The United Nations under. We just mentioned Waxman.
Peter Waxman.
They have built
love that name.
This. What?
I love his name. Peter Waxman's a good name.
Yes, yeah, it's a really good name. But under his guidance, they have. I'm trying to find the name of it here. They have built a program that will scan the internet and devour UIs called SafeSurf.
SafeSurf.
Sort of.
I love that it's just called SafeSurf. Like it's like a really it's like a really shitty McAfee.
I forget what it's called.
But it's so dangerous.
Yeah. I forget what it's called. It's like a pool of fish or flock of birds when they all kind of move together in unison, and it's this.
You ever caught minnows?
These blocks of just darkness that swarm at UI to devour them.
You ever caught minnows? It's like that.
I haven't caught them.
Oh, okay.
Certainly.
So I used to go and like catch fish. Like, well, I would have to go and catch minnows to go and catch bigger fish with my dad when I was a kid, and we would do that with just kind of like minnow traps. But if you ever like look at minnows from like the bottom and the way they swim, it is like that. They like a crazy like hive mind. Like the front fish are basically like the pilots of the whole thing. And they just all follow that. It's amazing. It's insane. It's really cool. But that's what this looks like. Like a swarm of bees, like I said.
Yeah.
I'll go for one target.
Yeah. So that'll come up in a bit. Now, meanwhile, Maddie and Caspian, Maddie's decided, no, you know what? Here's who we should look at. Here's who we should look for.
Olivia.
Yes, Olivia. So she is this. I don't know if they ever say what her actual like job is per se.
Yeah,
but,
they do. She's with MI6 as a diplomat.
Well, I meant like before that. So, they see that she's involved in this panel well before the logarithms UI stuff happened, where discussing the future of humanity. Maddie's like, we should meet her.
Yeah.
Hey, turns out she's become this UI. Maybe she should be our god. So they end up finding her, talking with her, and she's like, okay.
Oh, Olivia.
No, it shouldn't be me, actually. It should be the man I love, Farhad, this Iranian. And she shares these memories with them where, her and Farhad, who they hadn't really been much.
Yeah, they were kind of jerks to each other beforehand.
They've been at each other's throats beforehand, but then they realized
they both uploaded at the same time.
After they got uploaded at UI when they're trying to stop cyber attacks, like, hey, it's you, huh? Okay. And then they fall in love, and we get to see how, like, hey, as UI, they can, like, intertwine in a way that we humans with just our flesh bodies cannot do this. And so Manny's like, okay, we need to cure her. We need to cure Farhad. We need to get these people. And so while they're doing this, Safe Search shows up.
Safe Surf.
And murders Olivia.
That
happens.
Yeah, they cure her integrity, and then the mist cures her integrity, and then she's like, "I'm so powerful," and takes it on herself and just dies.
And then when they jack out, our boy Caspian just gets kidnapped.
Yep,
we don't know why. And
then by the Israelis.
It's the Israelis. And then I mean. We've been dealing with some heavy stuff. This is where we get it gets rough. So
Yair's story is pretty crazy, huh?
Yeah. So Caspian ends up in this room with this
with the UI.
With the UI, Yair, who is part of the
He's Israeli.
What are they called again?
Mossad, I think it is.
Yeah, the Mossad.
Yeah.
So it's this Mossad UI, and he's like, I know you can fix us UI, so let's do it. Caspian's like, why should I? Blah blah blah. They have all this back and forth things. Finally, like, look, if you want me to do this, I need to find your core. Mm-hmm. You guys like, nah, I know what you're up to. He's like, no, I'm telling the truth. You know, you're a UI. You said you can tell when I'm lying because you have all these sensors. And like, all right, fine, I'll share my core with you. And so Yair starts having to share these memories with him around how it's like, oh, you know, this one where I had to go on this mission. It's like the first time I had to kill someone. It's like,
yeah,
nah,
no, that's not it.
That's not it. That's
not
it.
That one. Close. No.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
So Yair's like, okay, well, let's go to the next one, and then it's like, I forget what that one is. It's like, nope, still not good enough.
Nope.
We go to the next one. And it's like, oh, it's about his brother. It's
one about his brother. Oh,
brother
man.
that left him and Israeli for this Palestinian. They're enemies who are trying to kill them. How can you do this to me, brother? And he's like, still not it. And Yair is basically just shouting like, fuck you, what the fuck are you talking about? I've shown you memories that torment me, you fucking lie. He's like, no, you've got stuff locked away, don't you? There's a part of you that they cut out because your code. They just snipped out your code. I need to see that code. So he's like, all right, fine. I'll fucking show you this code. Fine. I'll unlock it. And it's basically him having his legs blown off, having to go back through things, murdering this man who was his informant, but was like, I didn't do this. I am your friend. You were at my wedding. You're like a brother to me. And just torment. He's like, fine. Are you happy now? Are you happy? And Caspian gets to go. He's like, great. So this is half of it. And Yair's just losing his mind. Half of it. You said this. Like, no, I said this was only part. I said this was a key, not the key, a key. And shit, like,
it's
man,
like, we need another person. We need a UI to actually do this.
An emotional roller coaster.
Yeah, the episode with Yair is amazing, man. Like that whole thing with just Caspian and Yair is that's everything in this show, all wrapped into one episode that it talks about. And then, like, to top it all off, there's like a fucking Mission Impossible style break-in by like Mist in a robot body.
Which I actually, that's like the part. So I kind of don't like Mist, just in the sense
I like
that
Mist,
she feels a little too
a little mascot-y.
Anime mascot. Yeah. And then same as the like rescue mission, that felt a little bit just of a
little much.
Unrealistic. Yeah. It just felt like, okay, like these two seriously managed to like infiltrate this Mossad facility and save Caspian. I mean, come on.
To be fair, yeah, exactly. But to be fair, like, we had to kind of set up the whole like, Maddie is good at robotics and engineering and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it does some not way ruin it. I will say, we haven't mentioned it. I will say, overall, I like season 1 more than I like season 2.
Oh, really?
Because I think season 1 is a little bit
it's more focused,
restrained, and more focused.
I agree.
Think season 2, especially
season 2's a little
we'll talk
wider.
about it. There's when we get to it, it kind of feels like it's really 2 seasons smushed into one.
A little bit. You can kind of tell.
Going on.
Yeah.
But after Maddie frees Caspian, they decide, okay, you know what? We have to take down Holstrom. We don't have time. We tried jumping through all these people. Mm-hmm. We only have one choice. Me. Caspian. I'm
Caspian's gonna go.
I know Holstrom better than anyone else.
Mm-hmm.
I am him. I have to do this. And it's like, no, we can't do this. We can't do this.
Yeah.
There has to be another way. So they fly back to the Logarithms headquarters in Norway, was it?
Norway. Yeah.
Or not headquarters, but facility in
Norway.
Their
data center, yes.
Data center, yeah.
Big old data cube.
They also call in Maddie's mother, Helen
Waxman.
as well as Peter Waxman. Even Holstrom, Peter Waxman. I don't know why I keep getting their first names mixed up.
It's common names. It's fine.
this is also where, so, night before, they're all going to kick it off.
Yep.
Maddie and Caspian get it on. I really like this part because I was like, this is why this show is so good, because it goes, here's all this crazy, heady, what does it mean to be human? And then also goes, look, they're two teens in this situation
who were in love.
Yeah, this is going to happen. Yeah. This is going to happen.
They're fucking, yeah. They're like,
I especially like just them waking up by Manny's mom.
Their mother is like, mom's home.
What? Okay. No.
Get your shoes on. I love that she yells at him to get his shoes on. Like, that's the most human thing possible. Like,
good.
What?
Yes.
Not pants, shoes. Yeah. What's wrong with you? They're like, they're just waking up post coitus. It's like, oh god, mom's home. we can't explain that we've been having teenage sex.
Love it.
It's fucking it's great. It's great.
But this is when they could, because hey, they know what Peter Holstrom is up to, where he has this plan. Also, so while Peter Holstrom has been engaging his plan to infect all of the flu vaccines, or not all of them, but a sizable percentage, through Renee, he's also been building this secret company that's creating all the machines to upload people to the internet. And they're going to use
company's
this.
Called, but
I forget. But they're going to use this sick kid who has this, disease where he ages super fast. They have the line of stuff like, he's a 16-year-old with a 60-year-old's body, and he'll be dead within a year or something. And we're going to use it. We're going to upload him, and he's going to show how
progeria is what it's called.
Yeah, how this is going to help so many people. It's going to be this cure that those born with a disease or a disability, they can have a rich, full life on the internet, greater than you even could have in the real world. And so Caspian basically makes the sacrifice. They shave his hair so they can upload his brain. We engage in this battle with him. It also involves Chanda, Farhad, Yair, who they have to put things aside, and like there's a really good sort of humanity to it, of these two going like Yair, you killed my friends, and Yair being like, your friends were working on nuclear weapons to try and wipe out my nation, and the two just being like,
nuclear
as much
power.
As we hate each other, hey, Peter Holstrom could murder both of our nations. There is this, bigger existential threat. We have to work together, and them both just getting messed up, where like parts of their bodies have been destroyed.
I like that scene so much. So first off, like I like that Yair's legs are gone.
Were working. I was wrong to murder them, and Yair and Farhad being like, maybe my friends were. Maybe you're right, and they were also doing some shady things.
I think my friends were working on nuclear weapons. He tells Yair, and Yair's like, "Fuck you."
It's really
such a good scene,
moment, but
and then they did the fusion dance.
They did do the fusion dance, you're right? But we're having this big battle, and then Safe Surf shows up.
Oh fucking god! What a terrifying! The fact that Safe Surf takes on the personas of the things it kills is insane.
Terrifying.
So scary.
But what ends up happening is that Caspian ends up making the ultimate sacrifice, where he basically goes inside,
grabs Holstrom, goes inside
Peter
of him,
Holstrom,
ripping him apart,
to basically force him to stop, so that Safe Surf can devour them. And he does it. He stops him.
100%.
The world is safe.
Yay! Episode 6. Don't look at the don't look at the episode count. Don't look at it.
We're done.
We're done. Yeah, it's fine. Although don't worry about it. We're done. Episode over.
I forget if it's in this episode or later on where we find out about it. But the goddamn funniest thing in this entire show is, while this is happening, Renee and this sick kid upload
it's so tragic though.
And this sick kid who is there with his
poor fucking kid.
He now has like a real proper teenage body, and this he had like no hair, like cancer victim style. And he's there, and he's got like cell phone taking a picture, being like, "Hi, mom."
Yeah, he's uploading his cell phone video to his mom.
Just safe surf
and then she, it's so
his
bad.
Mom is there with like banners,
congratulations, and all this stuff. It's so. Renee getting eaten is fine. That kid did.
Yeah, that is.
Fuck, that sucked. Oh my god, like that's such a bittersweet moment of like, like laughing that Renee is got
was
just
dying
desserts.
Laughing. I'm like, I can't believe they
but
did
this,
that.
yeah, but this kid is like, yeah, it's
so terrible.
It tears me apart. Two sides of the same coin at that point.
So it's. Season 6, yes, that
episode
is
6.
Season 6.
Season 2, episode 6.
And then, hey, actually, Mist managed to save Caspian, but hey, it's been 20 years, buddy.
20 years, buddy. 20. So I went 20-year time skip. Ooh, okay, we're doing some shit.
Yeah.
Not even thinking.
So, in this 20-year time skip, by and large, humans and UI have come to a
FOMO,
mostly symbiotic relationship.
FOMO happens,
but there is a lot of still tension there. There's certainly people who do not like CIs. They do not like the idea of people being uploaded. It's unnatural. It's not right. Including Maddie.
She's not racist about it like the humans. No. There's a group called the humans.
Her
genocidal.
reasoning is different, but Caspian gets woken up by Mist, who is now this blue-haired anime girl.
Yeah, I kind of like that.
Before she only had like a diamond shape to her, but like the Sims diamond.
Like that.
Now she has this blue-haired anime body, and she's basically explaining it, but also. Peter Waxman and Ellen show up. And they're like, "Oh my god, what, Caspian? What are you doing here?" And Mist is like, "Yeah, no, I saved him. His data is still corrupted. There's a bit of safe surf in him, but he's safe. But he's the only one that can help us now." And they basically explain to him that recently there were some terrorist attacks. It took out one of the data centers and ended up wiping out like hundreds of millions of CIs and people. And so, as a result, the CIs shut down the internet. Tensions are flaring. Caspian, you are this hero to the world. The world knows what you did now. You're the only one who can bring everyone together, who can speak to both sides and con things. One of the things I really like is so we get to see all the CIs, and there's a variety of different personas people have. One of the guys is just a giant Oz-style floating head. One is, sort of like a fairy godmother.
Kind of reminds me of Summer Wars.
Yes, that absolutely Summer Wars was where my mind went with
or
it.
Ellen, the Internet and Psychopaths, it looks the same way too, actually.
I haven't watched that. But,
looks very similar.
We get Ellen, and she's just kind of wearing this like simple but elegant flowing dress.
Yeah, just nice summer dress.
My favorite though, fucking Peter Waxman gives himself this sort of like long surfer hair,
younger
t-shirt, younger, like
wearing the fucking
literally
like
what
seashell
he used
necklace
to wear in his like 21, very 2002 attire. Just a guy who's like, man, I love being 21. Those are great times. Also, it's like Dragon Ball Scouter. It's the most like perfect, and like he's made himself. Not like, buff, but I'm going to say like...
He's jacked. He's a little like...
He's
working on his lats.
Tennis athlete, kind of build. Like, he's got a bit of muscle. And just giving himself that, I was like, this is so perfect for a nerd. This is so... I love it. He's so... Just, this is the ideal me. Why would I want to be, something else? I'm going to be the ideal me.
Yeah, exactly.
Do it. Yeah, perfect.
Yeah, like that. I like how simple Ellen's is, and Waxman's just like, I'm going off the deep end. But like in a normal way. Everybody else went way further off the deep end than he did. But
so we get them. They're having to travel through actual physical devices to get to.
Because the internet is still down.
Yeah,
it's in
somewhere in South America, I believe.
I think it's Chile or Argentina.
I think that's right.
Something like that. Yeah.
To go meet up with the human sort of representatives, and then when they finally get there, it's like, oh, it's Maddie, and he's like, oh, and then Maddie is also like, oh, so what? You thought you'd bring me some like person pretending to be Caspian? Like, oh no, it's Caspian.
It's Caspian. We saved him.
She's like, Mist, what the fuck? And
no,
Mist
no.
is like, well,
so before we get there,
I saved him, but I didn't want to tell you.
Before we get there, though. So the first person that Caspian meets is a guy that looks exactly like him, but is much younger.
It's his
son. So he got Maddie teen pregnant.
And like Maddie is rightly like, fuck you, Mist, we're not talking. And she was already pissed at Mist. Mist has been convincing Maddie's son, like, yeah, you should upload.
Yeah.
Just do it.
Oh, you do it.
Fuck your mom. It doesn't matter.
No, she's crazy.
And then is also, like, hey, buddy, now that your dad's here, he could legally sign to let you upload. You don't need your mom's permission anymore. Yeah, he's fine. Which is like fucked up, like, fuck you, man. God damn,
what a horrible thing.
What the fuck are you doing? Yeah. You suck, Mist.
To be fair, the kid's been like Dave is the kid's name. Wants to do it really bad. Like he's again FOMO. FOMO is a big part of this world. Is that like, I know I can do so much more as a UI. Why won't you let me do this? And it's just like, Maddie's got her reasons. Like you're only 20. Next year you can do it because you'll be 21. That's legal age. And Maddie's just hanging on to this the entire time, going like, I don't want you to. She knows he's going to do it, but she just eating every last little second she possibly can with her son's physical form. Because once that's gone, he's essentially dead to her, but a UI that still exists. But, she has like disconnect of like, I don't think UIs are necessarily the same person who went in, even if they are acting that way and are like that.
We'll talk after I'm mostly with her. But we'll talk about that all at the end. But basically, when it's happening, Caspian's like, okay, if I'm gonna fix this, Mist, I need you to remove the sort of limiters that you have on me, because I need to process 20 years worth of data in like an hour. And Mist is like, that'll kill you. The safe serve
is still inside you.
Still there.
Yeah.
We can't. If you do this, it'll be like you still had what was it called? Not reliance.
Integrity.
Integrity.
Yeah.
Be like, you were infected by integrity, and he's like, I died once, I'll die again, I guess, to save humanity.
Yep.
Does it? He's making this speech to the
safe serve
human representatives.
Sleeve on his right arm. It's cool.
Yeah. He's messed up. He's making this speech. The humans are going like, okay, yeah, you know what? We think you're right. But while all this has been going on, this old dude and these evil terrorists, they've been up to something.
Tommy is his name.
It's everyone's. Yeah, they don't know who he is.
It's Julius Pope. Everybody.
God damn, Julius Pope, you suck. You're the worst.
What a monster.
So they have this plan to go to the data center, and he reveals like the reason why he's doing this. He's like, they branded me a felon for my logarithm actions, and felons can't get uploaded. So if I can't do it, I'm taking down everyone else with me. God damn it!
What a Republican! Absolute Republican, fucking Washington crony.
Hate him. He sucks.
What a
he's
ghoul.
Such a good villain.
I love him.
God, who plays him?
I can't remember.
I want to see it now. Chris Diamantopoulos.
Yeah, Chris Diamantopoulos.
You do an amazing job. It's just one of the worst characters in media
slimy.
Ever.
Yeah, Diamantopoulos is amazing.
I hate him.
Yeah, he's a great actor.
But really good job acting. Yes.
Oh yeah.
But what he ends up doing is basically uploading this version of SafeSurf, and that causes stuff to go haywire. So in the real world, they have these
they have robots
bodies that CIs can control. These robot machines, and so they start going berserk, murdering the humans.
The reason why this happens, SafeSurf is supposed to protect humans, and the reason why it does that is that it realizes the actual alpha in the room to sort of thing are the UIs, and it goes like, oh, that's the perfect human is the UIs. I'm on your guys' side now. Kill all humans, and it just starts a fucking Terminator apocalypse, like straight up, like they have guns and they're shooting humans, and it's rough, and like the other UIs are taking control of other robots to fight the safe surf robots.
Yeah,
it's like, oh my god,
the UIs are fighting against all this stuff is happening. Maddie and Caspian's son David gets shot, and so after they have safe surf cornered, Caspian basically goes to it and kind of ends up fusing with it and convinces it, hey, what you should do, put yourself onto these that the CIs were planning on using, but this device,
this little tiny device like this big,
yourself across the galaxies, learn,
get into the middle of the universe, basically go to Alpha Centauri,
and then it agrees to it, and as Caspian is just fading away, as this disease that he has is finally destroying him, and he's kind of merged with Safe Surf. And Maddie's just holding her dying son, and Caspian just has this, real like corrupted, broken. He's like, "Don't worry, Maddie. 117,632." She's like, "What's going on? I don't understand what's going on."
Yeah.
And just cuts to black, and I was like, "Just can't." What? There's still like 30 minutes left. What were we doing? Show what? And so basically what's happened is Maddie uploaded herself as a UI, along with basically all the rest of humanity's knowledge and all the genetic code of life. Set off on her own, and then spent the next 117,632 years gathering enough materials and knowledge to build a Dyson sphere that would then allow her to simulate the entirety of human existence again, so she could get back to that point.
Yep. Now, there's a word that is used in a previous episode. In episode, I think it's 5. That word is apocalypsis. This is where I'm going to step in for a second. Like, this gets crazy. Now, apocalypsis is, of course, the Greek root word for apocalypse. Now, Hassan, we know what an apocalypse is. It's the end times kind of thing, right? However, that's the Judeo-Christian and Hebrew interpretation of apocalypse. What apocalypsis, the original word, what that actually meant was a revelation from God. A revelation from gods about some greater cosmic truth. So as Stephen Holstrom is confronted with the term apocalypse, he's like, "Oh, apocalypse, that's an interesting term. Root word apocalypsis, all this stuff." I went, "You are not going to. You did not just plant that seed." And Pantheon always plants seeds. It's such a good seed sower. So I did a little research, and like, having an English Bachelor of Arts background, I had a research assistant background as well, and all this stuff. Like, I of course have read up a lot of like Greek terminology, and I know about apocalypsis. So I'm like, there's something happening here. So by this point, when like you see the solar engine, it's actually a solar sail, I should say, heading out to this random planet, and it blows the whole thing up and sucks the energy out of the exploding planet out into itself to create a Dyson sphere. And then it's Maddie controlling the entirety of existence.
Not only controlling it, but like having multiple permeations. And she's talking about how like, "Oh yeah, no, I've tried to like reproduce this scene before, but you gotta be careful with how much you say it, otherwise the other person, it might just weird, kind of mentally break them."
Yeah.
Oh god.
So yeah,
like, we have skipped so many ideas that have been presented in the show, because you could spend an hour just talking about,
tons.
Hey, this like 10-minute section, the ideas it is presenting to you.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah. So here's the beautiful thing, though. I was actually wrong because I thought it was the Maddie thing. The revelation from God happens in the same last episode when SafeServe shows back up, and they come in with like, it's no longer a swarm. It's like it's 6 of them, and they go like, "Hey, we're 10 million years like 10 million years in the future ahead of you."
Yeah, because of the entropy of the universe and time dilation and stuff, and you're just like, oh, Cho, please don't.
And Maddie's trying to control the Dyson
I'm
sphere.
To reckon with the idea of time is not time.
Time's not time. Time doesn't exist. And Maddie's trying to control the Dyson sphere, and she can't because SafeServe shows up and it's its God form and gives her the actual revelation as to what's going on. That is apocalypsis, good sir. Because here's the beautiful thing: a human cannot become a human. A human cannot be God. You can become as a god, but you cannot be a god. So in that sense, especially because, as Maddie points out, she created this beautiful Dyson sphere, and the inside of the system that she has created is wonderful looking. And David Kim's like, this is beautiful. Look how organized it is. You know what's not organized? Gods. Only a human is that organized. So as I was kind of like watching this episode, and like I have books open, and she's like, yeah, so here's my Dyson sphere, all this stuff. I'm like, okay, is this apocalypse because they turned Maddie into a god? But by Greek standards, you cannot become a deus as a person.
Also, we had very different experiences because I finished the final episode around like 8 p.m. one night, so I had a good 3 hours to digest and decompress from all this before I was like, okay,
so listener, I finished.
Unlike Tristan, who did at 1:30 in the morning.
I finished this episode at 1:30 in the morning, and then I stayed up for another hour doing more research because that's who I am. Hi, and essentially I got onto this train of like, how deep does this rabbit hole go? Because the show is called Pantheon, and the idea, of course, is there is like, oh, these are the new gods, brand new creatures that are more powerful than us. They control everything we can do because they have absolute human intelligence inside of an internet technological based system, which means they can just use their imagination to move shit around, change code, upload things, download things, blow up nukes. So that's the godhood. And then this season got me real far down that rabbit hole because there's some stuff that for instance, I had said in the previous episode that we did on season 1 of this that there are 2 possibilities for what that statue in the very beginning of the opening is, because it's a Greek statue. It's a Greek woman statue, and there are two possibilities. And possibility 1 is Athena, the goddess of wisdom and intelligence. Possibility 2 is Persephone. And I stand by this because I had said I was flip-flopping between the two of them, but I'm standing by the fact that I'm pretty sure this is Persephone. Because Maddie has created her own fucking hell, essentially.
Or heaven. It's hard because it is a surprisingly bittersweet ending where she basically ends up reviving Caspian, being able to have her son uploaded into the internet, and it's kind of just reunion. Her and Caspian being like, hey, you want to just
what if we did it differently,
and let's just rewatch this from the start, huh? It's like, oh, that's this weirdly sweet moment, and I really appreciate that.
So there's this. This screenshot is the last, like I said, the very last screenshot of Pantheon. Hassan, it's the one with where Maddie. It's the white background behind her.
Classroom.
Back in the classroom, and she looks. The screenshot I specifically have, because I know you can't see it because of the way we stream. She is looking off to the side because at this point, this Maddie suspects shit.
It's incredible.
This
Sorry, go ahead.
This has been like this since season 1, FYI.
Two things I do quickly want to talk about just quickly is the last item. So the first is, I mentioned it earlier, where I think this season it really should have been 2, because it feels very clear that there were 2 separate stories and 2 real separate groupings of ideas and thematics that they wanted to tackle, where it's season 1 through 6 and then episodes 7 and 8, and it feels like those really should have been 2 completely separate seasons. I still don't think it's bad at all by any means. It's a little mashed together, you can tell. One of the most incredible television shows ever, as far as I'm concerned.
Yes,
it's still a fantastic season. It 100%. Still handles it all very well. But it does feel like, okay, yeah, it definitely feels like we wanted season 3, we didn't get it, so hey, here's all of the ideas and everything we ever wanted to do with this show compressed into this one season.
Which I honestly think that, despite, because I fully agree, it does kind of feel that way. Despite that, though, I do feel like they did do the best they could with what they had.
Yeah, no,
and
it's
I think they
incredible.
delivered really heavily on having a great ending. Despite all that shit. So,
and I don't think anything is rushed in it.
No, not at all. Which is surprising, because that's usually the feeling you get once you have a show like this. It's like, oh, we're going to end you in this much time.
Wrap it up. Cut this thing. Who cares about this character? It doesn't feel like that at all.
No. They stuck around.
It just feels there's kind of a clear delineation between these 2 points and the philosophical elements and everything that we're tackling. The last thing I want to talk about, which is season 1 didn't make me consider this, but season 2 made me consider and spend a lot of time contemplating would I upload myself?
I was going to ask. Okay, cool.
Where I fell in it, and in a lot of ways I fall somewhat in line with Maddie, which is that to me, the physical human body person is a different person and entity than the uploaded version. That the second you upload them, they are 2 different people. In the same way that if somebody moves from one country to another, that changes them, that influences them, they don't become a dramatically different person.
No,
but it does change your life path, who you're gonna be, etc. And so uploading somebody, inherently they become a different person. So where I land is that when you upload yourself, it's not you're just shifting where you are, it's you're kind of killing the organic you and birthing the data you, which I'm not even necessarily saying is wrong, but
no.
For me, as somebody who, and I do not mean this in like a suicidal way, but as somebody who does want to one day die, who does want to have a finite end to things, and like I'm an atheist, so this is not some like I want to go to heaven. Like as far as I'm concerned, when I'm died, that's it. I'm gone forever. There's nothing after that. And I think there is a beauty to that, much like a firework. That hey, it's this
at some point you're gonna burn out.
Things lasts the briefest of moments and then is gone. And I'm okay with that. But I would also be okay with uploading. But I think for me, it would be a case of I would probably want to wait until I'm, probably like 60s or something, where it's like, okay, I'm okay with the organic me dying, if that happens. And I want to upload. But I would also only upload if I could maintain that finiteness. That it's like, hey, I'm going to upload. I'll be a CI for who knows how long. Could be hundreds of years or whatever. But at some point, I would want to end it. To be like, I've had a good run. Delete my code. Just, hey, time to rest and say farewell. And yeah, that's where I land. So I take it you've been thinking about this as well?
Yeah, I wouldn't upload at all.
You wouldn't at all?
No, so here's the thing. I come from a slightly different perspective. I'm agnostic, not an atheist, which means I don't really believe in a whole lot of, gods and that kind of stuff. However, I do believe in some semblance of a heaven and that kind of stuff. And I think that uploading, I would have no ill will of anybody who would want to pursue that. That is absolutely their choice. I don't even see it as a separation. I think that, well, I do and I don't, because, look, here's the thing. SOMA is a video game that exists, and I have seen multiple essays on that, and I've played a bit of it. And if you haven't played SOMA, this is the exact same transhumanism thing of great, we the end of SOMA. I guess I'm spoiling the end of SOMA as well. The end of SOMA.
That game came out in 2013.
I know, but still, some people. Yeah. Anyway, so point is, the way that game ends is that you end up in a robot body because your human body was transhumanized into this robot body onto this planet, and you have to go through and solve the puzzles to do the things and essentially save your persona. And what happens is you send your persona and your friend's persona on a rocket, and there's two endings. It's oh great, you meet your friend for the first time, and they're in data form in this version of heaven. Cool. And then it cuts back to the planet, and you're what the fuck? I'm still here. And she's yeah, but they're there as well. You and I exist that way, but we also exist here, unfortunately. So
I don't like that. Don't like the idea of multiple me's.
Yeah, but here's the thing: that would kind of be the case, because there's no reason why they wouldn't just copy your persona,
right?
And they could just erase the code of going hey, we did make one Hassan as a UI, and he asked for death. We did that. Let's make it the other one that was useful. So I don't necessarily trust the people that would be doing that stuff, that would have the actual ethics to.
Hey, I'm definitely not going to be one of the first to go. That's for sure. That's no. Hey, I'm going to wait, and make sure things pan out first.
Exactly. So, as far as I go, I have a very growing up Irish Catholic. I have a very unique and interesting take on death, because we do as a religion, Irish Catholics, we do the wake thing. We touch the body. We talk to the body. That's still technically you. It may have just been a vessel that carried your soul, but that is still and was you. And therefore, that's your body, and that is part of who you are too. So your consciousness being different in a different spot doesn't matter to us. You are still there, and you're also there. So personally, I don't see any use in uploading myself. That's basically it. Because I would want to do the same thing if I wanted to upload, which is once I'm ready to go, just upload me. I'm 75, do it. If that was the case. But then I realized I don't actually want to live that long. Yeah. I don't want to live deep into my hundreds
we need to experience
thousands.
This, but I don't want to be stuck this way.
Exactly. So I think that I don't think I would upload. That's the thing. I think I see a preciousness in actual death. I think that's what Maddie sees too.
I'm sure there's a lot of neat things you can experience uploaded, but at the same time, there is a beauty to the real world. There is, even for all the suffering, the pain, the difficulties, those all add to what it means to truly be alive, and to take that away and just make it a digital utopia seems like a lesser thing. Look, we could go on forever on this.
Oh, absolutely could. That's the thing. That's a whole different topic that we could go on to. That our nerd show doesn't necessarily need to touch on.
Yeah,
it's an interesting one,
the
though.
Sort of stuff that philosophers could spend years of their lives thinking about and debating. And, we got a 1 hour show. We need to wrap up. This is all to say.
Yeah,
man, Pantheon.
Pantheon
cannot speak highly enough. I shout at all my friends. Watch it. It's one of the most.
So,
not it is. easily, I describe it as it's the most mature cartoon or animated property I've maybe ever seen, certainly seen in a good long time.
Yeah, I agree with that.
That's not to say that there's not really good animated
No, there's tons out there,
that have come in. Yeah.
Like, this has been a banger for it, too.
There's been fantastic ones. Like, I love My Adventures with Superman. Shows that have been this year. They've been fantastic. But they are not as mature and just as mind-blowing as Pantheon. And so it's something I just shout at anyone I know who's a friend that watches anime stuff, like, watch this show. It is so amazing.
Literally on the past Friday before we recorded this, so I had everybody over for my my usual Blades in the Dark game, and like they got on the topic of Pluto and how amazing that show is, and I was like, what's better than Pluto? I don't know if they were sold on it because I did kind of ramble on like a madman.
Look, I'm in the same problem. I think all my friends are like, okay, dude, we get it.
We get it. You like the show.
You just don't understand.
No, you don't get it. Please.
One of the greatest shows I've ever seen.
Yeah. It's at this point
like every episode I watch and I'm just going like, this is where it peaks, right?
Yeah, this is where it peaks.
Now I'm going to be disappointed and no, this it's like Gurren and you just keep going.
Just keep going.
How is it? Oh,
that's the sell.
Let me
okay,
breathe, show.
I'm going to sell it in a different way to people from now on. This show is like Gurren Lagann, but lower key until the very end.
Yep. Until the very end, where it's like, oh, this rivals Gurren Lagann, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're fighting gods.
Yes, fighting gods.
Anyways, we should wrap it up. So I tell people where to find us.
Go to our Twitter page, which is at
year 117,632.
Will Twitter still be there?
Unfortunately, yes. Don't know how, but
Elon.
It's like the cockroach of websites, you know.
Ooh, at this point, it kind of is. Yeah, I think like years ago, I would have given that honor to like Facebook or something like that.
That's gonna be gone in like 1,000 years, but somehow Twitter there to the end.
Yeah, probably. Anyway, go to our Twitter page, which is at EIFNIR. We are there. Yell at us how much you love Pantheon. For once, I actually do want to know people like this show.
Shout at me about it, people.
Please watch it. It's so good. We just spent an hour and 16 minutes. Also, go to our iTunes and Spotify pages. Listen to us there. Click the lucky button. And then on YouTube here, subscribe, and all that stuff. Ring the bell. Like, I don't really care with the bell shit. If you want to ring it, go for it. But, do the things. And then, just share our show. Actually, share Pantheon first. I don't care about our show at this point. Just share Pantheon with people. As well as ours. Ours is a good companion piece to Pantheon. We have 2 episodes in this. So yeah, go and listen to that episode as well of season 1, in which we were equally mind blown about the whole thing of Pantheon, and now it's even worse. Now season 2
did not think season 2 could top season 1, but here we are.
Crushed my brain into a small cube and then threw it out the window. As I stay up until 2:30 in the morning reading research from books in my phone and stuff. Anyway, go to our friend's site, which is djdane.com. That guy's uploaded, I assume. djdane.com.
Oh, yeah, no. DJ, electronic, it just makes sense. So he's like, I don't need to move my hands for music anymore. It's my brain just makes it.
He's like, hey, Marshmallow did it, then Deadmau5 did it. I'm next. It's got to be me, he says. Yeah, check us out. Anyway, that's it for our show. Tune in next time for another expressionistic episode of Everything Is Fine Is Ruined. See ya.
See ya.